It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Okay. Hey, y'all. This is a random. I don't know if it's random. I don't know the definition of words anymore, but hello. Welcome to a random pop-up stream related to Interview with the Vampire. I know it's not Sunday, and so we are here to talk about one of my new favorite people, trolling, Armand. And so, you know, I have a couple people I stream with. I have a streaming community I hang out with often. And we've been watching I think everybody's pretty much watching Interview with the Vampire. So I have with me today Rshaun, and we're going to just be talking about why Armand is great. Armand is the hero, and Armand deserves respect as a thinking, feeling, sentient being. Okay. I can hear myself BSing on my own YouTube. Yeah. But we're going to talk about Armand because Rshaun has a channel. I'm going to pull this down. He has a channel, and we talk about a lot of stuff on his channel, but we don't really get to talk about Interview with the Vampire. You know, me and Twan watch it. We give our reactions. All the time. But I'm constantly having conversations about Interview with the Vampire with other people. So I wanted to give space for everybody else who wants to talk about it or has thoughts about it that we don't get to in the chat. Because shout out to us lately. We've been doing really, really good numbers on our watch along on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And we can't always get to all the comments. I can't even always read them. So it's like impossible. part of it is I'm putting the after show on YouTube so people can watch it and comment there, which is great because I can see all of those comments. So if you watch us on Twitch and you come back on the after show, appreciate you. Definitely leave thoughts that we couldn't get to on Twitch there because I do read all of them. But if it's on Twitch, I might miss it and I can't go back and see it until I rewatch. Hey, Shy Cutie. So this is just room to kind of talk about not only Armand, but anybody else you want to talk to. But we gonna talk about Armand. Okay. And before we get started, we're only talking about the TV show and what has happened in the TV show and the characters as they exist on the TV show. Because I know there's like book things, and I know the characters are a little different in the books. Oh yeah. I'm not sure the extent. I don't want to know the extent because I'm scared of spoilers at this point. So I don't really know the full extent of the differences. So we're talking about show Armand, show Louise, show Lestat, okay? And so this is all the information only the information we have thus far as these characters, okay? Yeah. So I'm gonna put a banner up. How we feel about this music? It got real country, okay? It got real. Yeah, it's just background. Sunday. It got real lazy Sunday for me.
But ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how I feel about Armand anyway. He's just there.
My God.
He's not fascinating. He's just not fascinating.
Oh my God. Y'all gonna stop doing Armand
this
like
boy
this?
Has been more interesting and fascinating.
Oh my God. I think I got a clip of that. I'm gonna have to pull that clip. I think it's at the beginning of my video. So where should we start? Should we play the clip? Should I just go ahead and pull that up? Because that hurt.
They were hitting up.
I'm actually scared to play the clip because I just got out of YouTube jail. Hey, Toby.
You did.
I just got out of YouTube jail. Let me not go back. So this past week on episode 5, we saw them get into one of the best couple fights I've seen outside of A Marriage Story.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a good fight. I hurt for Armand in that fight. So you mean to tell me you watched that fight and you didn't feel bad for Armand at all?
I mean, I felt bad for Armand only in that moment, but overall, like I'm taking the whole picture. I can't take Armand and separate out that one little fight where he got dug. Like Armand's been a monster for a while now. Like, come on.
A monster? Okay, y'all. So, okay. So do you feel like
master manipulator?
But just being so being good at what you do is a problem now.
Being good at bad things, yeah.
Who says it's bad?
Okay,
because I feel like if there's anybody on the planet, I'm definitely gaslighting me today. I have to defend Armand.
Yeah, go ahead.
It don't require some gaslighting. I'm just saying.
Who has he not gaslit on the show? Like going back as far as Lestat. Mm-hmm.
Did he gaslight Lestat?
The whole kidnapping, was it kidnappers? Kidnapping him to manipulate him into doing stuff?
That's just kidnapping.
I mean, that's
and
just
holding someone ransom
in service of it's manipulation.
I don't know.
It's manipulation.
I'm gonna give y'all a warning. Warning. I don't know if any of y'all have seen the Lestat's Not a Monster stream that we did a while back.
Mm-hmm.
I like to introduce myself. My name is Bri. I love toxic characters. I'm a villain apologist. Okay, Thanos was right.
He was.
The Avengers had no actual plan, and everybody's still gonna die.
I mean, that's true.
I generally liked Suguru. If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, I agree with him. I think all the people need to die and make everybody sorcerers or wipe them out. I kind of agree. So hey, Yella, I'm a villain apologist. I just need to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell y'all what I look for in my villains.
Okay.
There's most things are forgivable for me. For a villain, I just want my villain to be the best villain they could be. As long as they fit their archetype to the T, I'm generally like, this is great. They're amazing. I love them. Okay. In real life, I do not like villains. I am not married to a villain.
Got you.
So let's get that disclaimer out of the way.
Okay.
Do you need to make any dark disclaimers before we move forward?
No, see, in real life, I'm morally ambiguous. That's how I categorize myself. But in my consumption of media, I like people to have a moral standard.
That is weird.
It is weird. I mean, I like moral fiber in people too. Don't get me wrong. I like moral fiber in people too. But it's like in media, I like to know where people lie, and everybody lies at a different place on the show. Everybody's got their own particular, like I would say, lack of moral, lack of character. So like trying to find a favorite, somebody to root for, you end up having to root for somebody that's done something tragic, horrible. Like that's kind of like a fun emotional ride is trying to find something to root for in people who are like deeply flawed and doing a lot of evil stuff. But
I can always find something.
It can't be Armand though. It can't be Armand. What do you?
Don't tell me who I can. I'm slowly. I said this early on. I said I might watch me end up liking Armand. That's insight. I knew myself. Yellow, don't make that face. I knew myself, and I just thought, you know what? I feel like I hate Louise so much. I'm gonna get halfway through the season and be like, I kind of see Armand's side, like just a little bit. Just a little. So I kind of see.
How can you articulate it? What's his side?
Louis playing in my face. You're playing in my face.
But
I already told you. But I don't think Armand cares about being the rebound because Armand is equally obsessed with Lestat.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they're girlies, they bonded on their obsession with Lestat.
Triangulation. So
I don't think Armand is mad. To some degree, he's like, oh, I just didn't think you would be holding on this long. Like I get that. But I think Armand is like, I'm insecure. Don't lie to me. Because I'm going to find out. I'm going to snoop. And if I find out, it's going to be me and you. Like he said to Claudia, me and you and me. We going to have problems. That's what I feel like Armand is, basically. Like, I feel like Lestat acts out in a more, like, traditionally toxic masculine way. And Armand doesn't. But they're equally toxic. But if I could be pro Lestat, I feel like I could be pro Armand.
I just find them different. Like Lestat is on the level. I like Lestat. Because he's kind of like, he's on the surface. He's theatrical, but he kind of lets you know where his emotions are. Everything about Armand is very hidden. It's like, so even the whole first season, he's pretending like he's the assistant and not with Louis. Like, so that's...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's super manipulative with Daniel in the first season, but going back, so he's manipulative with Lestat. When he's like seeing everybody is drawn to Lestat in the theater, like he ends up in the theater and is manipulating them and laying down all the rules and not really enforcing them. From like when Lestat came in, Lestat gets to do stuff one way. Then when it's like Santiago, he's like letting stuff. He's like really permissive and letting stuff happen. Yeah. But why go after Louis? He knows he's insecure. Goes after Louis, knowing everybody loves Lestat. Like they got Lestat on the wall of the theater. Like everybody loves Lestat. Why do you with insecurity? Why do you go after somebody that you know is in love? with somebody that you can't really compete with.
Did he know he was in love? I'm objecting to that statement. Objection from the defense counsel for Armand. Did he know?
He knew.
Did he know he was in love at that moment? Do you think he was digging so deep in Louis' mind already that he knew that?
I'm gonna say when they were at the mansion, and he was sitting there like, I sensed some trepidation when the name Lestat came up, and Louis was trying to play it off like, no, I wasn't thinking about any Lestat. Who? What's that? Who's that? What's a Lestat? A thermostat? No. Yeah, nah. He was trying, like, I think you just protest too much. I think Armand knew that there was still some feelings there.
But it's like, okay, you got out of a relationship. I've been with Lestat. I know that Lestat is. He probably was like, okay, he ain't even over Lestat. I still don't feel like he feel no type of way about Louis not being over Lestat. He's like, that's the effect of the Lestat deep. You just not over it.
Yeah.
The thing is, every character in the show is morally gray, but Lestat never follows the rules. Armand changes the mind of other vampires to follow Armand's rules.
Yep. And that's not okay.
I don't think any of them are okay. But when we were watching it on Sunday, everybody was like, Armand got to go. He got to die. Hold on, like, how do we do this?
He's got to die.
Why does Armand need to die?
Again. He has to die again. Not because he's going into other people's minds. He's manipulating other vampires, other people. Like, he's just a master manipulator. That's why he's so problematic. And if he had a master plan, here's the thing. Like you talked about your villain archetype. Yeah. I can live with a villain who was doing all of this manipulation in service to some greater design. But he's just doing it because of his insecurity.
I think that's a hunch. We don't know because I haven't read the books. I don't know the spoiler. I do think I said that in the after show last week. I do think there's an outside force driving Armand that we haven't found out yet.
Okay.
I really do think, because he talks about serving a God and he talks about serving a God and these rules. And then, like, he said something about he was sent to Paris. So, it
better be something. It better be something.
I have faith in gentle Armand that he has another reason for the things he does.
He better.
Even though he's very insecure.
Very insecure. Like, oh my God.
He's
like a middle schooler. But
that's the power he has, though. Like, Lestat used his power to drop Louis from the sky.
I mean, he did, but
okay.
I mean, he did. I'm saying using you, but it was that was in the midst of a fight. They were having an altercation that got intensified. Yeah. That's how I would say. That's what the Lestat thing. It was just an intense dispute between lovers.
Okay.
But Armand is wiping out blocks of time. Like, he's impressing negativity on Daniel's life to the degree that his entire life is impacted in all of his relationships and career. Like, this entire trajectory of this man's potentiality was hampered by the mind manipulation of this vampire.
And that's what I was
because
thinking,
of his
like,
feelings.
When because apparently that's his style of killing people, right? Like, he just pulls all of their memories and all the terrible stuff they did, and he says that back to them and like, this is probably your future. Don't you want to go ahead and die? Or is he actively, he's using that to tap in with them? And what I will say about Armand, it's like them people who always want you to share your feelings.
Yeah.
Like, those emotional vampires that just be like, tell me all your deepest trauma stuff, so then they can use it later.
Yep.
Like, I feel like Armand is just a more extreme version of that.
Yeah.
So, like, my understanding of what he was doing was just like, I'm pulling your own memories and just saying them back to you and making you realize how terrible you are. Now, I don't know if he was really like changing anything in his mind at that point. I think he was just pulling his memories and telling him how terrible he is. He
hadn't remembered that stuff because that was young Daniel that he was doing that to. So Daniel hadn't had the full arc of his life, because he was talking about your kids and your marriage. So I mean, young Daniel hadn't had opportunity to So, but he had him in a trance-like state, which to me is I can't think of hypnosis. He had him in a hypnotic state and was speaking that kind of stuff, like reframing his
into
mind.
Him and reframing his mind. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
so is that what he was doing?
To me, that's how I took it. I could be wrong, but I took it like he had him in a hypnotic state and was giving him suggestion. and all the suggestions were negatively tuned. So like he's going to spend the rest of his life self-sabotaging his career and relationships because of what was implanted.
He basically hypnotized him and basically suggested him having a terrible life. And then Louis came back and gave him the one positive thing that he was able to like hold on to. So did Louis does Louis have the same ability?
I doubt it.
Because he said that memory was also manipulated too. So I don't know. I feel like maybe
it's hard to trust anything when you got Armand around.
That's true. I mean, I think people, okay, I'm just going to say, because people have certain conversations. I think the reason people, up to now, what we've seen, now Armand still got time. We still got 3 episodes left. So Armand can do more terrible things. And I think he is. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's coming. But do you think people think Armand is so much worse than Lestat? Because the idea of somebody messing with your brain, for some people, like your brain is the one place that's safe. For most people, like in your brain, you usually only fight yourself. So do you think it's just the idea of someone being able to get into your brain and mess it up is just more terrible to people than somebody dropping them from the sky?
It's deeply intrusive because it strikes at the core of who you are. How could you know who you are if all of your memories and your experiences have been reshaped by somebody else? Like I think we've had that, like even as humans, we've had that experience where we learn something after the fact.
Right.
And like, oh, I would have lived that. I would have done everything totally different if I had that one piece of information. Now imagine something as catastrophic as like, dude was burnt up in the sun. He was you know what I'm saying? Dude was a drier than a Popeye.
I'm not willing to villainize Armand for that yet.
You're not willing to villainize him for anything.
No, I think he did some terrible things. He did some terrible things. Just like Lestat did terrible things. But I'm not willing because we don't have the whole picture yet. We don't have the full picture yet. I'm his defense lawyer. We don't have the full picture yet because Louis could have asked him to do that. He could have entered into that as a consensual thing. Like a consensual into perpetuity.
It could have been. Absolutely.
Decision.
I can agree with that.
We don't know. We don't know how much Armand's missing memory yet.
We don't know.
But we also don't know how many times Louis tried to walk into the sun. We have no clue. We don't know if the memory eraser, is that a word? Erasure?
What did he say? Am I going to have to be on suicide watch for the rest of eternity? How did he phrase it?
Yeah, that's basically what
my God.
But that hints at the fact that that's what he's been doing.
Like, my God.
Like, what if we find out that's when he always erases the memory surrounding any time he walks into the sun?
I don't know if he should even do it. Like, maybe if Louis knew that he was actually trying to commit suicide, he would quit trying to do it. Like, oh, I've already tried this.
Now, you talking about defending somebody. One person you're not going to get me to defend is Louis. So, I don't think Louis has the capacity to change his life.
I mean,
if Louis could speak to himself life like he spoke into Daniel, Louis been trying to get out of here since Paul left.
Yeah. Why do you think he has more compassion for everybody more than himself? Like he serves everybody else, but kind of like
does he? Because
appreciates himself.
I feel like Louis don't really serve nobody but humans. Like I feel like he only has empathy for humans, maybe, and that's maybe because he regrets not being a human anymore. I don't think. I'm trying to see how
think it's everybody.
I mean, if you talking about vampires, like people in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, because even the vampires, like, even though I think he's a flawed parent, I think he does do his best with Claudia. Like, he's trying to give her what she wants. He concedes a lot of ground with Claudia. Claudia, as a young person in my mind, he gave up way too much ground. He let her have way too much decision making going through Europe. Like, there was too much. She was driving too much.
I don't know if that was like really to serve her or just his own comfort with confronting.
I mean, but that's
really
I think that. His comfort comes from allowing other people, like an enabler. He's an enabler. He gives ground, which is his comfort zone. But that's to the service. So like somebody else wants something, I'm going to let you have it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by it. I don't mean like true service. I mean like somebody. I feel
like he withholds a lot. Like that's his manipulation tactic. Like he opens himself up to be whatever, but then like he withholds when he wants to. And that's like his power thing. Like he seems very permissive, but then he like withholds if he gets mad at you. So I feel like that's like his special manipulation tactic. You're not gonna get me to really defend Louis too much, even though I can understand his archetype very well.
Yeah.
Armand is a full ass gremlin. Eat them all. Love him though.
It's okay to love him, but understand
he's a gremlin and a nurse though. He's not just a gremlin. And as a real life nurse, we are gremlins. If you've ever run into us at 4 a.m. on night shift, we all wrapped up in the covers like gremlins at the Illuminati meeting. So I'm just saying, like, I especially Claudia too. See, now yellow guy, he got smoked for Claudia 2.0. Yeah,
I do too. Like, but
why you don't like what's?
You've helped me, but I haven't absorbed it yet. Like, I haven't absorbed it. Okay, so my big thing was, I don't like Claudia 2.0 because she seems like a step down. She seemed like a regression for the character from season 1.
And you're not talking about the actress. You're talking about the character arc.
The character arc. Because the actress is fine. The only problem I have with the Claudia 2.0, the actress, I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Delaney. Her accent work could use some work. Like, that's the only thing I have a complaint with her. But I think she's playing the role of like the petulant kind of child brain, the child mind. I think she's doing a wonderful job at that, but it feels like a regression from season 1. Season 1, she just felt so empowered and emboldened. I guess it was because like anger or resentment towards Lestat. I was like, I love that. Like, that fire.
She hated him so much.
I love that fire, and it's like she came into her own, and now it's like now she's child again. So I was like, it feels like a regression. I don't know how intentional that was, but you kind of talked me through it. Bri had explained to me that was that couldn't have been in the books, because in the books, I know she was much younger. She couldn't have gone to university and developed and she couldn't have had that. I
do want to know how the plan went down in the books though. Like, if anybody's here has read the books, tell me, as far as how Claudia executed the plan, was that pretty much on point, like on par with the book, or was that like super different? Did they change it to fit the new Claudia being a little bit older and haven't had those experiences that I'm assuming book Claudia did not have, because what y'all said, she 5 in the books?
Yeah, that's what I saw. I didn't read them. I haven't gotten into the book yet.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, book Claudia couldn't have had all them experiences that
totally different
show Claudia had. Totally different. How was it different? Like, was it not as complicated? Because I feel like it was a really complex plan with a lot of moving parts. And that's a lot of moving parts. Yeah.
Because you got Lestat watching like a hawk, and then he had the girlfriend was watching like a hawk, and Louis was involved. 3 people that she outsmarted. And I'm like, now she's just a goof troop. Like, in an acting troupe. Like, I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Even just like not being, but I mean, the brainwashing, being in a coven, culty. I mean, cults do have an effect on people. People, do you think are usually very astute, so very vulnerable, capable, get in cults, and it's like they stop thinking. Claudia was definitely the one that slit Lestat's throat in the book. Okay. So yeah, I think maybe for me, I could forgive that Claudia in first season seemed so like.
Yeah, she seemed mature. She grew up.
Yeah, I think that was just added because of the show. They aged her up. Yeah. But I feel like this season, Claudia may have been more true to.
Yeah, this feels truer to what I would expect. It's just hard. Oh. Also, she had no back. So Antoinette was added.
She didn't exist in the book. See, I never thought to go back and ask people about stuff that I already know now.
Right.
No spoilers, but stuff we already know. So there was no Antoinette at all in the book.
Antoine, but he wasn't there.
Okay. In the book, she brought 2 young twins, almost her age. I don't know if I'm able to read the book. Every time I hear some details, it feels really out of pocket.
Yeah, it does. It does feel weird.
I can't imagine myself rooting for any of these people who like date people, and
It's sus. It's sus, but it's a story. It's a story.
It's a story.
We just have to accept that it's a story. It's not real.
I'm not ashamed. Anybody, I bet people love it because that's all you had. You know what I'm saying? It was the only medium. You had no comparison. So, it's just like, okay, is this Twan's brother? Hey, Designer Skyline. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, as long as you feel what the energy. Because every time I hear a random fact about the book, I be like,
it sounds crazy.
Yeah, they really are monsters. But you're right.
See, I'm gonna go read the first book because somebody when they were having the whole Daniel Armand thing, somebody sent me to Vampire. What is that? Queen of the Dam. Somebody sent me to Queen of the Dam to read up on the Daniel Armand connection. So I'm there, and I'm trying not to spoil anything because I don't know what
you
they're
better
gonna do
not.
in the show. I'm not
getting blocked.
Cause I just don't know what they're going to do in the show because they've taken the
so
show so far. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't even know if I can spoil anything because I don't know what they're actually going to use.
You don't even know if they're going to actually do that. And I
really want
wonder
to read the first book.
For people reading the books, are things surprising y'all? Like, are y'all like constantly shocked? Is it different that it's almost like you don't know what's going to happen?
It's beautiful.
Did you expect to love Armand? I'm just kidding. I like Armand. Armand. Armand is like, to me, that feminine rage, you know?
I can see that. But I'm going to tell you from the onset, he was off-putting to me. So his introduction as that kind of assistant, that shadowy figure that was just hovering over here, putting up books.
The angel of death.
It was just weird. He was just weird there. Like, even Daniel kind of caught on like this dude always around and serving this. And he just felt the energy was too... It was like service, like servant, but also he was very assertive at moments. When he didn't like what Daniel was asking, he would kind of step up.
Put up a boundary, like, chill out, Daniel.
Come and put a hand on Louis, even though he wasn't really into the interview yet. And I'm like, I didn't like that. Like, because it kind of felt like you're inserting yourself in this interview. And then you come to find out that he's not Rashid, he's Armand. And now it's like, okay, first of all, you were lying the whole time. Time. False pretenses. Okay.
Yep.
And now you're gonna try to influence the interview from the outside. Then you finally decide to interject yourself and be on the record. And I'm like, I can't stand no fake, weak, I don't know if I want to say anything. Parsing his words. I don't know if I want to say, we don't need this on the record. Either say it or don't.
Armand is always aware of PR. Okay, Armand doesn't want his PR person calling him saying, we got to fix this. Okay, I do think Armand has something beyond Armand that he feels like he's protecting. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just guessing. It just feels that way based on the character. Yeah. So I'm just saying, hey, realistic vibes. Remember, the showrunners are not just doing the first book, but pulling. Yes, somebody said that they are pulling some stuff from future books. Like somebody mentioned in the comments that Daniel didn't even have a name until like later. I think they only call him Boy, which goes to the whole boy debate. Was that he was only called Boy back then
for a long time. Okay.
So it was like a shout out to the books, and I was like, okay, I feel that. You know, it's been a point of contention. I can respect it, but I feel like it's one of those things like with Claudia going to university. I feel like adding in, because what I've heard, a lot of the stuff in season 1 didn't happen in the books at all. Like Louis' backstory as a black man in New Orleans and all that stuff, obviously. So them adding in that him being mad about a man calling him Boy obviously would not be in the book, even though him calling Daniel Boy was. Yeah. So like a white slave owner later on calling a boy he's fooling with Boy wouldn't be weird. It wouldn't be like, why is he calling him that? So I kind of was just like, okay, we're just gonna have to charge it out.
Realistic.
Yes. True, he's not named. Yeah. What do you think about the next episode now that Louis and Daniel unionized? Ooh, what do you think?
I'm worried. Like, I actually wrote that down because I think you should never confront a narc. Never confront a narcissist.
We are gonna calm down with calling my client a narc. Don't make me pull up the DSM.
Narcmond, okay, is going to snap when he's confronted with the reality that they have undug and unearthed from their own brains because he's manipulated them so completely and thoroughly that they were missing.
They didn't need to remember that. First of all, Louis ain't gonna do nothing with them memories, but wallow for another 10 years. Try to walk in the sun again. Be mad, withholding affection, but ain't going nowhere. Louis, we ain't got time. If you're not going to actually do anything, give me the memories. You don't even need them. You really don't need them. What you need them for? To ruminate? You just going to ruminate? You ain't going to do nothing. Like, what? I kind of feel that. Because you're not finna go nowhere. You're not finna leave me. You're not trying to square up. You're not trying to make a decision. You just trying to be around me being miserable. So let me go ahead and take them memories up off you. At least you can act like a grateful bitch.
But he's not. That's the whole thing. He's not grateful. And he's like, he's not grateful. You see the way he snapped? That's what the whole argument was about. Like, I'm still not grateful.
And then he just need a little electroshock therapy. He'd be all right.
Bri,
he was holding hands with Armand.
I think Louis a prisoner. I think Louis a prisoner.
I definitely think Louis a prisoner.
Like, he's an emotional prisoner. Like, with the memory wipe, every time he's trying to escape even unto death. That's how much he wants to escape this relationship, that he's willing to die. But he gets pulled back in by having his memory wiped. Like, I'm going to make.
Oh, he's been trying to escape life. That's what I'm saying. He dissociated. He dissociated with Lestat because he knew Lestat wasn't gonna play. Because what he's not gonna do, he'll run and he'll track star. He's trying to escape life.
That's fair.
Lestat punched a hole in the priest's face to convince him to give life another shot.
He did. He proposed with a ring of brain matter. A ring of cranium.
Funny way to propose. I'll take it. Yes. But Louis been trying to escape life, period.
That's true.
So I don't think it's Armand specific. We're not gonna put all this on Armand, like we don't.
So Armand is like a wounded healer type. Yeah, so he's just trying to heal Louis. He's like his project. He wants
to be a safe place for people. Like, but his own trauma makes him not able to be the safety he needs to be. I think. I think he wants to be safety for them.
Yes.
And I think for him, safety is keeping people on a tight leash and control.
Yes.
So I can see not the humanity, but y'all ain't gonna be.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If Armand could mind wipe them, he might do it again to get out of this confrontation.
Every single time.
Because y'all getting froze, and I'm putting my sunglasses on, and I'm leaving.
Yeah. And this Daniel is old. He can't take them body slams. Like he can't take them.
He ain't got the big knees no more.
No, he can't get dropped like he got dropped the first time. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Got abused.
I mean, I can't see Armand really fighting them for real.
I don't think he's gonna fight. I don't think he needs.
But Louis a little stronger now. He got a little.
Louis got some flex to him. I like the way Louis coming into his own. He just hasn't owned himself yet. I think that's the one thing Lestat wanted him to do was just lean into who you are. Just be okay being yourself. And I think Louis wants to still be old Louis in vampire skin. Like he still wants to have that.
I think he's
humanity.
past it now. I think he's past it.
But it's a facade. It's become a facade now.
Well, because they keep saying that
it's a facade.
He's the most dangerous vampire in the world. And I think that's why he in the prison, mental institution, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what Louis did. I don't know what Louis has done, but it's giving Armand as his handler.
It could be. Like, I mean, what's more dangerous than a person that is something but doesn't want to acknowledge that there's something? Like, I'm not trying to
pyromaniac who blacks out when they get so upset and triggered that they harm a lot of people, including themselves. I feel like
don't know your own power, and you won't acknowledge it. You won't acknowledge that you're a danger. Like that makes you more of a danger because you're not even trying to harness it because you believe that you're the victim. Everybody's victimizing you.
I'm Louis, the victim. Look at me, my smoldering light skin person face. He is hot though.
Stop it.
The look Louis gave Armand. I'm nervous for him. You nervous for Louis or Armand? I'm nervous for Armand. You saw that jaw clench? Mm-hmm. He's the most dangerous and emotional vampire.
And irrational.
And vicious. He's always been vicious. Like he kills vicious.
When he lashes out? Yeah, when he lashes out.
Yeah,
he did.
What happened? I know. Wasn't that out of pocket?
It was.
That was so out of pocket. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I meant to say that back. I was like, the fact that I just told you this whole backstory of me being this like sold into slavery and I don't really even know my name. And then you sit here in this moment and just call me by my slave name. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was kind of hot, but I just was like, that's a little out of pocket.
But that whole episode was kind of cool. Like that shows Louis' mental power. Like his delusion is self-inflicted. Like it wasn't like he's not a victim to his own emotions. He's choosing his delusion. Like the whole dream stat chose it because when he wanted to get rid of it, he chose to get rid of it. Like, okay, when it benefits me to get rid of dream stat, I'll get rid of dream stat. So it wasn't like an emotional overwhelming. He was fully in control of how much delusion he was willing to carry.
So what would Armand need to do for you to see the nurse soft side of Armand? Because Armand in this situation is the submissive, I think.
He's choosing to be like they both choose they
may be
flex
switched.
in and out of
They
submissiveness.
may be switched.
They both.
At least in the inception of the relationship, it was definitely Louis establishing himself as a dom, and Armand yielding to it, is giving slave master dynamic. Yeah. So, like Rhea said, I don't know how to say it, but yes, Louis was definitely doming at that point. Now I'm sure they go back and forth, but even if you look at the fallout and how Armand was, and that's why I say, like, to me, Armand is a good archetype of like more feminine rage in media, of like that quiet behind the shadows, manipulating things. Like, oh, I know you where you was at. I know you was talking to that bitch. She tied up in the closet. Let's go see what she got to say. Like, it was definitely given it. I'm here for it.
Armand definitely seems to be drawn to the submissive side, even though he's very powerful. He just seems to want to land in the submissive side, which is cool. No problems with that. I just think that we talk about dynamics so often. I think always wanting to lend in the submissive, even if you're more powerful or more knowledgeable, puts too much pressure on Louis emotionally, because he's emotionally fragile. Like, he's emotionally weak. Like, we just talked about him lashing out. Don't act like he's not weak. I'm not saying sympathy. I'm not saying he should get sympathy. I'm not saying we need to. I don't think we need to coddle him. I'm just saying the fact that I think he's prone to lash out because he sees himself as the victim, even though he perpetuates a lot of the negative happenstances between Lestat, Claudia, now Armand. Like, he's involved in a lot of mess, and then kind of falls back into the victim. But I think Armand, because of the position he wants to play, has to then put himself in an uncomfortable position in their dynamic to get Louis to do stuff.
I'm trying not to say anything extra inflammatory, but maybe I like Armand because I feel like, once again, it is the struggle sometimes as the female in a relationship. Sometimes we talk about competence. Like, we had a conversation sometimes about a dynamic, or maybe you're like super competent in this area, and the other person wants to lead, and you're like trying to let them be the dom or let them lead, but they're clearly incompetent about it. But you got to nerf yourself and act like you got to nerf yourself and be like trying to let them believe they're actually making the decisions, but you're really doing it. And it's very easy dynamic to fall into, because every time I try to tell you something, you go lashing out, and it's like, okay, bitch, well, I'm a freeze time, delete your fucking memories, so I don't have to deal with this at the house. And just so everybody knows who just got here, this is Rshaun. We stream a lot outside of my channel. We talk about we talk about psychology, we talk about philosophy, dynamics, we talk about a lot of that stuff. And he was trying me in the Discord, thinking I wasn't gonna hit the live button, trying to say Armand's a monster, Armand needs to die. And what you're not gonna do is talk about my client like that. You're not gonna talk about Armand like that.
We gotta bring these charges forward. We gotta press these charges.
Okay, we can bring the charges forward. And if anybody wants to join our conversation, this is StreamYard. I'm cool with dropping the link. I'm not just gonna drop it, but if somebody in particular wants me to, so you could join the conversation, feel free. But I would have needed to see you comment first that you're engaged with the conversation before I let you up. Let me catch up with these first before we bring the charges you got against Armand that you don't have a case for. Is it possible that Louis suffers from the same affliction as Paul? Maybe a bit milder, but still crazy. What you think?
It's possible. There could be some hereditary, issues. Obviously, they haven't really addressed that. I don't know that he does
have the mannerisms when he do be spiraling. He get real.
Yeah. I mean, so it could be. Yeah, I can't say it's not. I just know he's got to do. Louis got to be. Want you to stand up,
Louis. Louis get into them soliloquies, and I'll be like, "Here we go." Louis gone. Louis dissociated. I feel like Louis has multiple personalities. He got Pimp Louis. He has this poetic.
So much.
He has Langston Hughes Louis. He got Pimp.
He wants to be so many things. Yeah, he wants to be so many things. There's so many things he had to be in his life, and the things that he wants to be. And I think he just floats in between the things that he had to be, wants to be. the victim stance, I think he got from his mom. I think that's him playing out the attachment style from his mom. Like, so when he slides into victim, where he's like, where he can't say anything back, he can't do anything, and he becomes powerless. I think that's what he pulled from his mom relationship.
If Louis likes narcs, Louis has like borderline personality disorder for sure. He was raised by like a narc mom, more than likely. I would say, if I had to give him an archetype, he was raised by a narc mom, overly critical, crazy, or so. Then he kind of has that borderline kind of personality type. He be, Louis is still trying to be human.
Yeah.
Y'all know I don't like Louis. If y'all didn't know before today.
He's worn on me.
You're gonna get me behind anybody needs to die. I'm gonna say it's Louis.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm okay with that because Louis is the catalyst for too many other people's downfalls for me to really. I cannot stand for Louis because, again, Lestat's problems started with him falling for Louis. Armand's problems are starting with falling for Louis.
I mean, Armand was
Claudia.
Usually pretty good at getting rid of people he didn't want. Claudia, Team Louis, here come music,
Can't
baby.
do it.
Team Louis came
up
from the far side of the room.
Can't do it. Nope.
So
Nope.
So we were talking about in the stream. Y'all were saying Armand has to die. And my simple argument for my client Armand is that if we can be Lestat girlies, Team Lestat, see the wounded, fragile soul in Lestat that makes him lash out. We can give Armand that at least up until where we are in the show. Now, once again, I'm willing to change my mind when Armand does something that I feel like it's like, okay, you really tripping? But I'm gonna tell y'all now, it's gonna take a lot for me.
I'm with you.
For me,
I mean, because it's a supernatural, psychological, romantic thriller. So I mean, the boundary should be pushed for us to be like rejecting somebody. But again, for me, going into people's minds, including your partner. Okay, so Daniel's one thing. Daniel's a reporter. Daniel's a human. Daniel's a dude that you slam up and down with your mind powers.
With the
of course, wiping his mind is one thing. But you went into the mind of your partner. Imagine your husband wiping your mind, Bri. Imagine you just found out that King had taken out like 2 weeks where y'all were having a spat. And he just wiped it out so that you felt okay.
I mean, it depends.
See,
now this is the lens I'm looking at it from. Like, I'm a nurse. I'm still looking at it from a mental health thing. Not to say that I agree with it, but I feel like Louis is suicidal, and I feel like a lot of Armand's going into his mind and deleting things are because he can't handle what happened to Claudia and some of that stuff, and so he tries to off himself. So it's no different than you snowing somebody out at the psych ward, giving them some Valium, giving them some ketamine, putting them to sleep, restraints. So I can
accept that to a degree. I can accept that to a point. I just don't like it. I can accept it to a point. I promise you, I just don't like it.
Give Louis some. He getting vampire ketamine. That's all. He can't remember it. Louis in both of his relationships has always had the illusion of power. The only power he can have is only emotionally, which is why he withholds. Yes, which is what we talked about. Even with Armand,
I like that.
With the dom sub thing, we could clearly see Louis actually does not hold the power. Right. And in a dom sub relationship, it's not about who's stronger and who can always overpower. It's just who wants to be in what role sometimes. So I think Armand was cool with being the submissive, even though he's the more powerful one. Yeah. And sometimes you see that people who are powerful like to submit. Yeah. It's Armand's willing to be the sub, give him the illusion of power. But I think they understood that. But go ahead.
Now, do you think that's why Armand had like I don't want to call them gypsies. I don't know if they called themselves gypsies, but I know people called them gypsies. Do you think he had the vampire coven underground because he kind of rejects leadership? He doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to be leader. He's just powerful. Yeah. And like he has more knowledge in whatever group he came from, because he did specifically say somebody sent him there to run this coven. So he has power, and I think he's one of those
Romany.
He's thrust into positions of power. I can relate to that. We talked about this. I hate people coming to me for like, I don't like being put in leadership, but I often find myself in leadership. So I fucking hate it. So I mean, I understand that. So I can I can relate. He's the angry housewife.
But man,
okay. And they said I just randomly caught this stream in your recommends. Oh, so you haven't been with us this whole time, Vodka?
Yeah.
So we started talking about Interview with the Vampire season 1, right around episode 5. And I think the thing that got us really in the algorithm was after the season, Twan and myself and Ashley, one of our other outside friends, had an argument about Lestat being a monster. So then it kind of really like blew up after that. We started talking about, I think it was around this time where we were like kind of doing it and we were commenting on season 1. We actually went back and watched the whole season 1 on stream and commented about it on Twitch. And then, so we've watched season 1 twice, and then we've been doing watch-alongs of season 2 this whole time. Follow me on Twitch. You're on Twitch? No, on Twitch. Every Sunday, we watch the episode with our viewers live. Me and Twan don't watch it ahead of time. And we give commentary as we watch it, and we'll do the after shows, which is what you'll find here on YouTube. It's that last section after the show on Twitch. I post it here. So yeah, you can join the community. Lestat is a walking red flag, and I will fall for it. I'm definitely a Lestat girly. Let me see. I'm catching up with the comments, and then we'll move on. Louis doesn't even sound like himself in Dubai. Where's the New Orleans accent? He's definitely given. I've been in therapy. I've been in a lot of group sessions. I've had electroshock. I've been working with Orna. What would Orna say? You know, ground yourself.
Question would Orna make me ask myself?
Right. So, my defense hat is on.
Let's go, baby Lou.
So go ahead. What else do you have to say about my client, Armand?
Armand, listen, I think I've heard enough here to actually want to give him a little bit of grace, because he actually had a traumatic history as well. So he's had a traumatic history. He's with a person that's traumatic, and I believe that they might be trauma bonding. So because I've seen him in a triggered state and lash out and abuse a third party, I don't want to jump to conclusions that he's just an evil person. I'll say that.
Thank you.
Louis' trauma triggered Armand's trauma.
Right.
Triggered Daniel getting body slammed.
Getting traumatized.
So I'm going to just couch it. I'm going to give it a couple of more episodes to see if he does anything like truly insidious. That's not like trauma informed.
I mean, but what would be truly insidious enough? So for me, once again, what I expect is for Armand to fully walk out the archetype of the feminine rage, that manipulator. What could that be at its worst iteration? Because like what we talk about with Lestat being grandiose and like very showy and loud and just hit that expression of the fullness of his toxicity of dropping Louis out of the sky. Was some people felt like it was out of pocket, but for me, I was like,
it was beautiful.
Feels on brand.
It was beautiful.
Feels on brand.
It was beautiful.
He said it was beautiful.
I mean,
it felt on brand.
I mean, it was poetic.
It was poetic. It was very poetic.
Like he was like because he was basically saying like, Louis, you let me down. Now I'm going to let you down. And it was like that's all it was for me.
See, and then y'all talk about withholding, but mind you, the whole time Lestat's like, oh, by the way, I can fly. What a way to reveal that you could fly.
Yes.
For real.
Because he didn't even need the stunt. He wasn't even trying to show off his vampire powers. He was trying to show him love. Like, I want to show you my human side. I love you. I want to adore you. I want to dote on you. I want you to have everything that you want and need. I want to show you that side. I could do more, but you don't need that. You need somebody to show up in a relationship.
He opened the relationship up with punching a priest in the face and burning the church. We knew
dramatic.
his capacity. We knew his capacity. Louis knew his capacity from the jump. I don't want to hear nobody talking about he knew.
Good point, Yella.
What he said.
But he might have been too enthralled. I mean, because I've never been floated, but I could imagine I might have thought I was floating. Like I felt like I was floating, but I was actually floating. How would you know?
Because they didn't really go as high.
Yeah, they didn't go that high.
They didn't go that high, so he might have just been like, I thought I was floating. I was floating. That D was so good.
Yeah.
I felt out of my body. I had an out of body experience. That's probably also what he did. So Lestat withheld information. Yeah. Because Claudia didn't know.
Does. No, but that's also something you don't need to disclose. Like, why does he need to tell everybody that he can fly?
I don't need to tell you I can fly, especially at this point after you trying me every day.
Yeah.
Look.
But it's not even germane to the relationship. It doesn't even. Unless it's going to fly Louis somewhere. Am I going to fly you to where am I going to fly you? Fly you to Paris? No. I told you not to go there ever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, And just like I can make a defense for Lestat, I can always find a defense for Armand. As in its worst expression of Armand's type of archetype of toxicity. How far can that go? Poisoning people would be pretty on brand. Control.
It's the intent for me. It's the intent for me. Like, what's the intent? Yeah. Like, because the act itself doesn't bother. Like, the mind wipe, like you said, I can give grace now. I'm like, okay, it's trauma-informed, triggering. Okay, cool. But now that they're about to confront him, if he just protective, like, to protect his own feelings, like, selfishly, pure selfish and reflexive, if he just goes into mind wiping again, I can't rock with him.
I don't think he'll go into mind wiping because he already is like, it don't even stick. So this time, bitch, I'm never going to make this mistake. This is me just getting into the mind of a villain. Oh, y'all in here remembering stuff? That's cute. I'm gonna make sure y'all don't remember shit.
Yeah. Like, if he's really doing it for Louis, I'm with it. If he's doing it for himself, that pure selfish mind wiping people, then I'm
he's doing
changing Daniel's life trajectory and then kind of imprisoning Louis in an emotional like cage. That would be problematic to me.
He's doing it for himself. But for Louis, just like Lestat was doing all this stuff for himself, but like under the guise of Louis, because Louis wants to be out of here. Like
a self-serving sacrifice. Self-serving sacrifice. I get that. I'm with that. Yeah, I mean, but if it's purely self-serving, like I don't care what Louis wants. Like if Louis actually wanted out and I'll erase that.
Nobody cares what Louis wants because Louis been wanting out.
That's the problem.
Since season 1, Louis been trying to get out of here. And then the only reason he was sticking around was because of Claudia. Which is what he said. No, he said that. He was like, I want to go.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So Louis doesn't want to be here.
But keeping him prisoner because he doesn't want to be here is still kind of weird, though.
Well, I think he's saving him from himself, just like Lestat isn't. But just like Lestat isn't willing to let Louis go, I don't think Armand is. I think
saving Louis for himself, not saving Louis from himself. For Armand, saving Louis for Armand. Like he's.
Yeah, because Louis is like, I'm trying to go. Like Louis is every time Louis has all his thoughts or any iota of him, he be out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him some time. I'm gonna give him an episode or two. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give him an episode or two. If I find out this was all, listen, that's all it takes. I can flip really quickly on who I like and who I don't like. Louis was one of my favorites, and now I can't stand him.
I can't believe he was ever your favorite. When was he your favorite? And when did he stop?
First season. He was first season.
He
just kept whining. Most of the first season. I can't remember exactly the moment, but he just kept whining so much. There was only so much whining I could listen to. Even Lestat was, oh God. Everybody was tired of him whining. Claudia's tired of him whining. Like everybody's tired of him. It was just so,
I mean, we don't get to ask you this on Sunday because usually it's me and Twan. That's my usual host. So what do you think is going to happen with Claudia? That's my fun question to ask. Like, how do you think she's going to die? Do you think she's going to turn on Louis? Do you think she's going to bond with him at the last minute? Like, what do you think? I always ask.
I read something. I read something. So I think I know what's probably going to happen. But I'll tell you what I thought. Before I read anything, this is what I thought. I thought that there was going to be a trial. Because I think they did it in a clip or something.
Kind of like a judge.
A preview. Like I think they did a preview. And one of the plays is going to be about a trial.
Right.
Because I think they previewed that. And I thought, I don't know how they were going to kill her. But, everything you see here is real.
On the stage, like they were going to do that.
The trial is going to be real. Because Santiago said, everything you see here is real. So the trial is going to be real. And she's going to die. It's just how they're going to kill her. I can't imagine what they're going to do on stage to kill her.
That's still kind of my idea, too. Like, because we saw in the trailer, because we've watched the trailers, and we were breaking it down, and we saw Louis on stage with Claudia, and she had a yellow dress on. I think it was the one that the lady was making for her on the last episode that she was in. And she had that on, and I think Twan and myself were like, how does Louis end up on stage? Like, what is... Because right now, he's kind of just, like, really hands off, And so, it's like, what is going to happen? How did they get Louis to get on stage?
That's what I'm curious about too.
Like, is it mind control? Is he not?
Because he's been really resistant. He's been really resistant.
Yeah, like how are they gonna get him to get up there?
Yeah.
But I guess him and Armand are in a relationship now, so maybe it's something like he is thinking that they're pulling off a plan by getting on the stage. Like that's my only thought, that he's thinking it's helping that him and Armand's plan. Because
remember, Armand said Armand already alluded to that she's got to die for being made as a child. So
somebody pointed out that he said it, but maybe Louis didn't interpret it that way.
I don't know. It maybe he didn't, but it seemed pretty clear in the moment. In the moment, it seemed clear.
It seemed clear to us with more information, but I think Louis interpreted it as he was saying like she's gonna die because her mind can't handle being a vampire with the child's mind.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I just know, I think during that exchange, they were also talking about the rules of the coven and things they didn't take well to.
And Louis didn't know any of that. So I think it's possible. It is possible. Somebody in the comments pointed it out. I was like, okay, it's possible he could have been interpreted as.
Yes.
Armand meant
he might not have taken it as serious.
Yeah, like
Armand didn't. Yeah, Armand didn't deliver it with like, oh, impending doom. He didn't. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So maybe. Yeah. All right, maybe he didn't interpret it that way. So he may still think that she's not in danger from them.
But I could see him, if he did interpret it that way and just doesn't know what to do, I could see him getting talked onto the stage to think he's going to protect her.
I'm
going to protect her.
When he was dumbing Armand, he was kind of telling him, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. We're going to let Santiago hang himself, basically, like give him some rope, let him hang himself. So he may play along thinking that they're pulling off that plan. That's what I was thinking. He may just kind of, just kind of be thinking that Arun isn't his slave name. It's his real name. Yeah, because he was saying he thinks that's his real name. I think he wasn't sure it was his real name. But for Louis to say that in that moment, it's like, still was wild. But it was very dumb. Okay. I was into it. And we haven't read the books, so we're just only going from stuff we know in the show. As an Armand apologist. I love seeing y'all. Armand girlies. Lestat has my heart. But Armand is quickly becoming, I'm getting in Assad's line. I'm kind of, as an Armand apologist, it's gonna take a lot for me to hate him. I don't care. I don't know what debaucherous act it would take for me to hate Armand, because I can't think of many. I can't think of many.
Man, listen.
I can't think of one thing besides doing something that's like out of character for him, like being like extremely violent to the degree like Lestat would be. Yeah. I think that's the only thing.
Okay.
Don't say it like that.
He did
Armand asks Louis could forgive his role in Paris. Oh Lord.
And see, it could also be because he was the leader of the coven. So maybe he took accountability for anything that happened with the coven was kind of under my jurisdiction, even though I wasn't very hands-on. And I knew Santiago was going rogue because they've talked about that already. Like Santiago's got his whole other plan to become the leader. And he's like letting it happen. So Louis got his counter plan.
Apologize for that. That was a little off. That felt maybe off color for Armand's choking out Claudia.
Yes,
that did. Was that?
And I thought that was like a Lestat callback. I thought that was like a Claudia callback. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now she's got two of Louis' other people, Louis' paramours, choking her out.
Is choking her out.
And so it's like, so for Claudia, like it's like he keeps saying it's me and him. Yeah. But every time you choose these other people and they're both violent towards me and you don't see it, you never see how they treat me, and it's invisible to you. So then she's like, I'm invisible to you too. Because how could you be invisible to the way that they're cruel to me, even though they dote on you?
So I kind of did think that they put that in visually as like kind of like a visual callback for the viewer. Yeah. Because, they do that a lot where they do certain things or they say certain things. Even like when Armand told Lestat to come to him the same way, like he did it. They do a lot of visual callbacks so that we make that connection, I think, sometimes. So, because we were talking about how episode 5 in season 1 and episode 5 in season 2 were basically the same, in its bones, the same idea of Louis' lovers finally getting they lick back after tolerating Louis' abuse for years and years and years, and they finally snap and have their bad day. And what that looks like when you are the more powerful one in the relationship. And that's kind of how I interpret both of these kind of episodes. It's like Louis get to have bad days every day.
Don't he though? Oh,
every day we having a bad day. It's either he's spouting out like he Langston Hughes, or he's emotionally withholding.
Hey, when Claudia had to ask him when he tried to be Langston Hughes, like, hey, sometimes I just want the short answer. And then she was like, and he's like, sometimes a brother want to feel, I want to feel deeper than I am. She's like, who are you, Louis? Like, who are you? What do you want? Like, she had to ask him, like, what do you have?
He got too many personalities. Yeah. That's why Santiago was looking at him across that dinner table like that, like, look at this bitch. Like, I be looking the same way. Like when they started that episode off and Louis just be doing his poetic language, which is beautiful, it's well written. I'd be like, here he go. Just bullshit. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah. So okay, I don't know what this is.
He's talking about the Migos.
Okay. I was like, what are we talking about? I was like, we're talking about interview. Louis got mental illness.
He does. He does.
Do all vampires have mental illness? So we just don't have no same vampires. Are there any vampires that just really be chilling? Or is it just the effect of being alive for so long?
I think that might be it. I know this. I'm stretching something. But Louis had said something when he was taking pictures one time. And he had said something about like taking a picture, the hobby that he took up. If you could stretch a moment into a day, or you could stretch a moment into an hour, it was something about like the perspective of time. And he said something about like becoming a vampire is like the opposite of that. Like I'm thinking like there's something about losing the mortality, like the immediacy of your death is coming. There's something about losing that probably warps like how dramatic things are. And for us, things might feel pressing for us, but don't for them. And things that don't feel pressing for us might be more pressing for them because of their need to live.
They may find very like weird things to really latch on to and hyperfixate for meaning. Because being alive that long, you more than likely become very nihilistic, I would think. You become very like everything is meaningless. Because I'm just watching people do the same thing for centuries or decades. So they more so latch on, I think, to just small things. I think somebody in my comment brought up how like the arts for Lestat is like his god. So when he killed that opera singer, it was because it was like a sin against God to be bad at this singing. Yeah. So that's maybe an example of that. Like
because like the quality of their life has to be more meaningful because the quantity of their life is unlimited. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they lean more qualitative than quantitative. I think that might be a thing, which is why everybody why Armand was so bothered by Daniel being fascinated. Like, how's he fascinated?
What is fascinating?
What's fascinating about him? What he had sex with the girl with the bag over her head? That's fascinating.
That's crazy. That's a crazy story though.
But the depth of humanity would be fascinating for somebody that's immortal. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be.
Yeah. I agree with that. It just makes them like very like extreme, like prone to extremist ideas almost. Yeah.
Extremes are probably more appealing to him.
Louis be trying people and be doing the shock Pikachu face when they had a day. What? My partner's a powerful vampire who can do terrible things to people? What? I would have never known.
I agree with that.
So yes,
Louis
I do.
Willfully ignorant and complicit in his own suffering. God. And he needs to stop whining. Thank you. Oh, he needs to stop whining.
He doesn't embrace his power. He is. I be trying to withhold. I think that's why I'm always gonna fight for Armand, because Armand, I think people find it easier to understand the Lestat like archetype for sure, but Armand's the same. He's just the other side of it, the submissive gone rogue, or the feminine rage, or the dark, the more manipulative tactics, or the more passive manipulation than the outward power force. What is it, the ways to dominate like power is force or coerce. So, I definitely think people are harder on him. How you threatening Santiago for making fun of you in public? What did Santiago do in that scene?
When he was making his he was going word for word with him. Like he was saying everything that Louis was saying as he was saying it.
Oh, you saw Louis? I thought Armand did it. Yeah. Okay, that was cute though. I felt Santiago in that moment though.
That was a great scene though.
That was a great scene. Because Santiago was tired of it. He found Daniel fascinating because he wasn't being a yes man like Armand has probably been for.
Wasn't he though? I mean, Daniel seemed down for anything. I don't know.
I think more than likely.
he didn't seem like he seemed very compliant.
I think maybe they just vibe better. Because
I think a vibe.
I think Louis maybe is a lot like that artist, kind of passionate, young. He maybe reminded him of his youth or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm searching
Daniel
for
seemed very open. Yeah, Daniel seemed very open. Yeah.
You don't understand the meaning of your own story, man.
Yeah.
He hit a nerve. So, but I definitely feel like more than anything, it was just that jealous. I've been here this whole time. Being your quiet, peaceful, you know, like somebody said in the chat when it went down, like the housewife was like, I was at the home. He said, I'm at the home picking Lynn off the couch. And you over here with him, you know, talking about he fascinating and all this. I would have fucked Daniel up too. I'm sorry, because you ain't gonna
that
keep
fight
playing
was
my
sick. Yeah, that fight. Ooh. Some of them verbal jabs.
You can't say something like that to somebody and then be like, he snapped for no reason. That was crazy what Louis said to him. Absolutely crazy.
Armand's better than me, because when he went outside the door, I would have stood in the shadows and just watched him burn. Like I would have just like I'd have watched Lou burn. Like he ran outside that door after saying, man, get out of here. I just watched him.
Sorry, I'm just typing something. No, he want him to be alive. He can't. I think him and Lestat have an agreement about Louis being alive. That's what I think.
They might.
Or something's going on weird.
That whole communication thing.
That was weird.
I don't get that yet. I don't know how that works.
We gonna call it the Google Voice call. Every time Louis oversteps boundaries, always in response. Is it? Louis be overstepping boundaries just on a Tuesday though.
I think Louis
not like
be extra
boundaries.
Yeah, Louis be extra.
He pokes though.
And people respond to his being extra. He was being extra loud at that party with that. That was so weird.
But Louis said he pokes though. Like he said that in season 1 with Lestat. Like I poke. He pokes the bear. So I wouldn't say that he doesn't overstep boundaries. He just tap dance on them. He just tap dance on them, which is just as annoying.
It is.
Yeah, he did know that. I put my Twitch link in there, so make sure y'all follow me on Twitch if you want to catch our live watch alongs. On Sunday, myself and Twan, who is my co-host on the Sunday shows, which most of the content is me and Twan. This is me giving space to people I stream with who I know are watching the show to go ahead and have a conversation. I think on Thursday, I'm supposed to have somebody else up, Yella and Rshaun. We're going to come back and talk about, I want to know their thoughts as straight men who when they watch season 1 and they got through that pilot. I am so curious to know some of their thoughts about watching these queer people, these gay men, and like very focused on gay relationships. I want to see what they think about it. So on Thursday, we haven't dead set on the time yet, but we're gonna have to talk to them about their experience of watching it, because it's such a great show, and I just kind of want to know how it felt when they first saw it. Let me see. So make sure you follow me on Twitch, because we can't watch the whole episodes on YouTube. I just got out of YouTube jail. So if you want to watch the whole episode with us on we do on Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time before it premieres on AMC. So y'all come watch it over there with us. I'm the plug.
Futurist, man, you right.
That was crazy.
Better than me.
I would have threw his ass in the front myself.
I would never.
I can't believe he said that to him. Like, I feel like that was really out of pocket. That was really out of pocket.
We're going to see, Jessica. If he's got good intention, we are going to find out. I'm not a believer yet. You're not a believer?
Everything Armand he said he wouldn't harm Louis, and he hasn't.
He did say that.
And he said he hasn't. He said that very clearly. He harmed Daniel. He didn't say he ain't harmed Daniel. He said
if he's in emotional prison, that could be a form of harm because he's a captive and doesn't know it. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give room.
They did have all the prison bars in their bedroom. I don't think it's hidden from us as the viewer. They've given us a lot of visual cues that Louis is in a prison mentally.
And a lot of concrete. Yes, it is. Everything feels like a comfortable prison, a very comfortable prison.
Very like cute padded room.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was back when when we had that conversation with Yella before, and he talked about that daycare. You know, like that.
Yeah, the daycare.
Daycare, just padded walls.
The daycare.
That's what it's like.
That is true. Mind manipulation is harming him. I still kind of somewhat believe that Armand is thinking he's doing it for Louis' own good. I don't think he's just doing it for the hell of it. I think he's doing it because Louis finds stuff he sees painful. How did you guys and Claudia expect Louis to hide his memory of Lestat when he was literally seeing him? He's so goofy, thinking he was really hiding it. But Armand told him from the get-go, don't lie to me, Louis. Now, he didn't tell him he could read his mind, but he did say, don't lie to me.
I'm saying, if it's like you said, what do you call it, the snowing him? If he's snowing Louis for his own good, I could accept that as okay, contextually. But if it's not that, the mind manipulation and intrusive.
The only problem I have with it is I can't see a world in which Louis would consent to it. But knowing how emotional Louis is, I could see Louis being like, erase it. Yes. I don't want to remember it. I could see him begging Armand to do
because
that.
Because of Claudia, I can see it. Only because of Claudia.
Yeah. And he knows, well, I don't know if at that point he knows Armand has that ability though. So I'm curious to see how he figures out Armand has that ability. My theory, my crackpot theory is Lestat comes back, exposes Armand's ability to fuck with people's minds. And that's how Louis finds out. And then Louis can't handle it and actually asks Armand to do it. So that's my theory of how it's going to come up. Yeah. Okay. So that's my theory. But I haven't read the books.
Yeah, I'm going to go read the first book at some point. It probably won't be this week, but man, I got to read that.
You can't get it in the library for what? It was 2 weeks?
It was like, it was like 15 weeks. It said 15 weeks. Yeah, that's why I'm going to have to buy it. I bought Queen of the Damned so I could, thanks Baby Lou. I think Baby Lou was the one that gave me that tip so I could find out about that Daniel Armand thing. So thank you. But now I'm going to go read, I'm going to have to go read that first book. Because I'm cool with spoilers. Don't give them to Bri. Bri don't want the spoilers.
Do not give me no fucking
spoilers. Spoilers to me are like appetizers. That's like, like you going to the store and you that little nugget.
Because like the whole thing is like we're non-book readers reacting to the show as we see things and making theories. We always got theories. So I can't have spoilers because then it kind of takes away from how we like to do things. We like to watch shows, come up with theories. And
brand new, I got
you. See if we can figure out which way it's going. And I can't do that already. So y'all better not. I'm going to send Armand after y'all. Is Armand's part? I don't know. I mean, you think Armand been plotting since Lestat pissed him off? Like since Lestat heard them, we got that Cliff Note version of what happened. It was like, and then we broke up, and that's the end. And I'm like, I know it didn't go down like that.
I'd hate to be a mortal and be hung up like that on.
Which means the fallout was not what Armand is letting it off to be. The fallout had to be way worse because when he was telling the story, he was like, "Man, we never saw each other." The end, like that was it. Nah. So I definitely think it was.
I don't believe anything could happen like that between Armand and Lestat. I don't think it could be clean. Yeah, they too messy. Like they're both messy. Just like you said, they're opposite ends of the messy spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, I can see them working.
I got that good.
I mean, it seemed like Louis got that good. They won't even let Louis die in peace. Everybody
won't let Louis die. Like, you ain't about to throw away this. You ain't about to throw that away. You ain't about to throw that away.
This D off this planet.
No.
Infinite D. I'd be hella pissed. I'd call Armand out in front of the cover too. Like, damn man, that dick can't be that good. They know that dick good for him to. Damn, can we at least get some?
It's true, man. Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, but I do want to know how because can you imagine how we know how explosive Lestat is when he snaps, and now we've seen Armand explosive when he snaps. I can't imagine them two being together and breaking up.
No.
Like, how would that even go down? Because Louis
then again, I could be wrong though. Because like Louis is a codependent type. Lestat is too flighty. Lestat likes space. Yeah. Lestat likes space. And Armand likes clinging.
He's anxious attachment. He's anxious attachment avoidant. But they usually get together.
But I'm saying like Lestat likes so much space. I don't think that would work for clingy Armand. Because Armand I think he likes being up in that little prison cell with Louis day after day. Up like in each other's skin.
It's cozy. We like to call it cozy.
Oh God.
Okay, we're gonna say it's cozy.
Oh God,
we're gonna reframe that. We're gonna reframe this for my client.
Oh God,
it's cozy. It's so close. You ain't got no room for nothing.
No room to breathe without the other person.
That sounds lovely. All that CO2. It's just great.
Lestat couldn't do that. He's going even when they were like caught up in that little house at New Orleans.
I just wonder how they broke up.
He was around. He was on the other side of the room. Like when Louis was sitting on the couch or something, like Lestat would be somewhere else, but they were never like up under each other until like he lifted up that coffin lid.
In that little ass coffin.
when he lifted up that coffin lid, then they get
a twin size coffin.
A little twin size coffin.
One theory is that Armand brainwashed Louis into thinking Lestat dropped him from the sky. I mean, I hope that's not a cop out. That would be interesting. But Claudia, I think, noted that.
Yeah.
Claudia was there for that, according to the memory. So, but that was Louis telling the story. So you still right. Like it could
anything is possible.
Oh, that's why I hate it, because you're like,
why there's certain pages missing from her diary and stuff. So it's like everything could be a grand manipulation when you got Armand.
Right. Don't. Hold on. Take the edge off of that when you talk about my Pookie Bear.
I don't trust him.
Armand's in the Pookie Bear club now, because y'all ain't gonna play in his face.
I do not trust Armand as far as I could throw him.
As far as I could drop Louis. Throw him. He's tiny. You could throw him. Louis switched it around. He's sleeping around and dancing with everyone when he hated Lestat for doing that with Antoinette. We all know Louis full of it. Yeah. Louis withholds and gives and withholds, and that's his power. Mm-hmm. So we already know. Hey, Miss Lucy. According to Louis, there was all that space between them. What would Lestat say?
What would Lestat say?
He got a twin size coffin. Louis in his fuckboy area. I mean, so with that being said, I hope that we do get to see how they actually broke up. I hope Lestat comes in and tell the real tea of like, oh, so that's what you're telling them? Like, oh, well, in present day, we don't know what Lestat. But yeah, how did you tell them we broke up? I really want to know how they broke up, because I know it was explosive. It ain't no way they just was like, you know what, this isn't working. I'll go my way, you'll go yours. There's no way that happened.
Ooh, what if Armand tried? Lestat's got that wanderlust.
Yeah.
What if when they were together, Armand tried to mind wipe Lestat? Lestat about I don't even know, but if Lestat figured out that he got mind wiped, Lestat would flip out.
And that's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna come back and tell Louis about Armand's ability. He's gonna be like, "So did you tell him you be erasing niggas' memories?" I feel like we do see one screenshot where Lestat is like sitting like this, and I feel like that's exactly what he's saying. Like, so did you tell Louis you be erasing memories?
I swear, don't let me find out somebody erased my memory, man. I'm with Nyasha. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Forgive me. That is a harm. Oh my God! Don't take away my memory. Do not mess with my mind.
Luckily, people can't do that. I think that's the only reason y'all so like Armand is terrible, because the idea of somebody doing it is wild.
But here's the thing, though. That's kind of like what a lie is. Like this is like I like. That's what I love. That's one of the things I love about this show, because it takes the things that we go through and just expands on them. It just takes the concept and like blows it all the way up. So like basically, he's just lying. Like this is like I've lived a lie for the last 70 years. Like that's basically all this is.
So Armand is in his Rshaun and O'Neal. You come out and you rewrote the history. Like, okay, I done found out some stuff happening I really didn't think. I mean, if you could erase your worst days from your partner's memory, why wouldn't you?
I mean,
you don't need to remember this day. I had a moment.
But that's the part of the context of the relationship, being able to work through that stuff and get through it. Otherwise, there's no real structure for the relationship.
It's Louis missing the fucking point.
I know it's Louis. Louis crazy.
Missing the fucking point.
Louis crazy.
It's not ever gonna. They're never gonna work it out. I'm just saying. So I'm curious to know. This is gonna be epic when Lestat comes back. All the tea is about to get spilled. Everybody, you got these 3 toxic archetypes in a room together. And Santiago.
Oh my God.
Like Paris should just be in flames. This is about to be crazy. One thing I don't like is inconsistency. He deserved the lashings from the coven for having one set of rules for Louis, but Louis didn't join the coven, so I do kind of get
that's true
to some degree. But then he does have this idea that you can't be a vampire. He do that chicken in thing like the game, you can't be a vampire here without checking in with me. So I mean, from that point of view, it still is very like hypocritical.
It is.
Yeah.
Lestat
Okay, see, now we talking. Your eraser. If you erasing it, changes your partner for the better.
I mean, I get it. But then all of us would feel like we have the right to go in and like pluck out what we don't like that makes them better for us.
Yeah. Ultimately, I do think he's doing it for Louis' own good, though. He may have taken some liberties. Oh, let me just delete Daniel too, because I ain't like that bitch anyway. Mm-hmm. But
it's fascinating.
Let me erase the fascinating bitch from your mind too. Since they happened in the same day, I'll get a little free with it. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I do think for the most part, he's doing it for Louis' own good. I really do. I believe that.
He's fine. You're fine. We're all fine.
I love that. It's like the on fire thing in the back. I should have put that one up. This is
want that. That's what I wanted to make.
This is fine. The mind eraser. How do you say that? My southern accent is whooping my ass. Yeah. Okay. Erasure. It's serious because those memories are part of who you are. You can't live through happy moments. Mm-hmm. That's nice, but we're toxic girlies over here. And if you won't be a grateful bitch on your own accord, then I'll just help you be a grateful bitch, because you're not going to be spending my money sitting up under me just pouting all the fucking time about Lestat and try to go into the sunlight when you think about your daughter you didn't give a fuck about for real anyway. So
Lestat says something similar to that, what you just said too. Like I can't even remember what he said, but he basically said like what I'm giving is like it's not given. Like he just said, I can't remember how he worded it, but he was like, all the stuff I'm giving, it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Like you're not appreciative.
You're not doing nothing. Let me help you.
He got pissed in season 1.
Let me help you remember who I am.
Yeah.
And who you need to be if you're gonna be around me.
That's hilarious.
That's my kind of toxicity. That's all I'm saying. Because you're not gonna see it. Louis, stop playing in my fucking face. You stay here and let me disrespect Claudia and play in her face, choke her, call her a flea, tell her don't look, make eye contact with me. You let her go to the coven. You let her run streets. You let her have titty meat in the house. You let Lestat beat her ass.
He didn't let Lestat beat her ass. Like he couldn't stop it. He got.
But he definitely went back to Lestat.
He did.
He took him back.
He did.
So don't be like I'm walking into the sun every time she come up in your mind. It's sending me. I just can't take Louis.
Yeah. Louis, he's a hot mess. He's a hot mess.
Yeah, he is. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying. What is it he said? I'm standing in front of you with all the adult appendages. Yes. Yeah, basically.
Like anchor around our necks.
So I'm with the toxic bays. Is there anything else you want to bring up about the show that we haven't talked about?
I want to ask you, because we had like a little, I ain't gonna call it a dust up or a tiff, but your chat did, the whole racial the racial thing came up one time.
Oh shit!
About them, the fact that they, I guess, colorized the cast.
Yeah. Right.
Now, do you think we would love it as much if it wasn't colorized? Do you think if all the characters were in the book format, we would have the same connection to it?
Like literal book format? Because the ages for me would take me out.
Like let's take the ages out. But like as far as everybody was European, like I think they were like Romanian and like everybody was like European. Like, do you think we would cling to it the same?
To it is a lot. I can't imagine.
Waking soul, like nope.
Yeah, because I can't imagine the story for me would be as rich. I mean, some of the stuff just with the time, like doesn't it doesn't age well. I think the stuff that they decided to change was really smart. Like people started telling me the premise, like Louis being a white slave master, because y'all think I don't like Louis now.
Oh my God, nope.
Now
you just broke my brain. I ain't trying to be. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. But if it was a whiny white dude, I swear to God, I could not watch that show.
Master, not
a whiny white slave master? Nah, that would kill me. Oh my God, no, I would hate that. Oh,
yeah, that alone would have been like, bitch, what? Y'all think I don't like Louis now? Y'all think I wouldn't be in every episode? Push him in the sun, please.
Whiny?
I just would not be able to do it.
Whiny?
So I love the change to Louis. I love that Lestat still, it seems like kind of for the most part, like French, they didn't change him too much. I think the changes they made so far, I've liked all of them. I don't think I could rock with it if it was the original, people. Yeah. And everybody.
Like imagine like, was it Brad Pitt and like if it was Brad Pitt and like from the movie, Brad Pitt.
Me and Claudia watched it. Did you see?
I haven't seen it in a long time.
I don't think it's on YouTube. I think it was on Twitch. We watched it. It was Potato Twin. And child, the way that movie was so dry and dusty, we turned it off before it got to season 2.
What?
Right around when because everybody like they had flour on their face, honey. And then by the time they got to where Armand ass showed up, bitch, I was like, I'm cutting this off. I can't do this.
Hey, YDW said it would be the Witches show. I couldn't finish the Witches show. What Mayfair Witches? I could not finish.
Y'all go check out.
You had to force yourself though. You had to force yourself.
Go check out if you haven't. I think it's in the Interview with the Vampire playlist. If y'all want to see our, we tried to give it a chance. Episode 1 and 2, we gave it a chance. By episode 3, we was just roasting how everybody look wet, moist, and like they smell like hot dog water. Bitch, I can't do it. Why everybody look like they stink? That's what
it wasn't cute. It wasn't not.
So no, but also the actors in Interview with the Vampire are so good.
Superior. They are.
And they're not in the Witch show. They're not carrying. Like they're not giving. I don't know. It's something about that. They don't have no chemistry. Child, that suit they be having Lasher have on is not cute. That haircut ain't cute. He need a little part, some little bangs. Oh. He need a bang.
The bangs.
I'm sure the books are great, but as far as like a visual media, because like I find with books you have a lot of room to like put things in for yourself and fill in a lot of holes, and that can make it more tolerable. But I don't think as a visual media the book would have worked. He tried to get out of it.
That's interesting.
What? Which one?
The Brad Pitt tried to get out of filming.
Yeah.
And Baby Lou, man, a slave owner and whining. Oh my God.
That's why I couldn't stand the movie, because Brad Pitt was just basically walking around looking sad and pale the whole time. And then they wasn't even lovers in the movie, you know, in the 90s. Yeah, because it was very and, you know, so
I get that.
Nobody in the crew read any of the books. Oh, and Mayfair, nobody.
That caught me off guard. That's crazy.
You could tell.
Why would you do that?
You could tell.
Why would you do that?
Not even an Audible. Knowing how things are, if the show had an all-white cast, it would definitely have more buzz. That may be true. There is a lot of
it probably would have more buzz.
Currently, a lot of conversations about like how they're not pushing it as much. But that's why I want to do the show on Thursday. I want to have the show where it's like straight guys talk about watching Interview with the Vampire, because I think a lot of people are turned off by it because they think, okay, so I watch Boys Love, y'all. I don't know if y'all in the chat know what that is. It's like anime where it's like men together. So I watch Boys Love, and I know that that's the type of media that a lot of people are like weirded out by, and a lot of straight people are not going to look at that. And I think people see this and think it's almost like some kind of boys love or some weird, stuff just because it's gay male leads. I think people think that, so that's why I kind of want to do our conversation on Thursday. Where I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, you and Yellow talk about your experience watching that floating booty cheek scene.
That was crazy. It was crazy.
I swear to know.
Can I ask a question to the chat real quick?
Yeah.
Lenora Wilson specifically. Instead of putting Lestat, she puts least. Is that intentional? Are you putting least into? Because I would love that so much if you're calling Lestat the least. I would love that so much if that's like a shade. Oh my God, please let that be shade.
Yeah. Incest is in the Mayfair Witches book. I mean, I watch Hot D. I watch House of Dragons. So do I need to say anything else? I need to say anything else. Too. I mean, I give room for myths, like especially in fantasy. I give room for people not being moral. I think Rshaun and myself are very morally ambiguous for the most part in real life. I give a lot of room for like foolery, human foolery. It makes the story more engaging for me. So I give room for that, but it's just certain stuff I just know I'm not gonna connect with.
Yeah, boy.
So yeah, what time will that live be happening? We're gonna do it on Thursday. I don't know if Yellow's still in the chat. I guess we can come up with a time while people are here so y'all don't know. It will more than likely be around the same time, right? He said he don't work Thursday, so maybe 4 or 5 p.m. Or we might do 6 if more people. I see people like coming in now, so maybe 6 o'clock might be good.
That might work.
That way, if Twan wants to be in the conversation and ask y'all questions,
because
Twan is gay. A gay man. So I feel like maybe I want him to even like lead the conversation with y'all. So I'll check in with him and see if he can do it. But look out for it on Thursday.
Vodka don't mess with Twitch. What Twitch do to you, Vodka? Come on, Vodka.
Oh, what happened to Twitch? That's the least of our problems. I don't think most people realize how historically accurate season 1 is. I just love the New Orleans. I love the fair play. I love all of that. So we will do the conversation on YouTube and Twitch. Like I'm on both right now. But I can't do the watch alongs on YouTube. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't even edit it down. Yeah, I can't even edit it down and put clips on YouTube. So like the only way I can watch the show with the viewers is with Twitch. As far as Twitch goes, I do keep the videos up after the lives as well, but you have to be subscribed to my channel on Twitch to watch it after the fact. So yeah, why you don't F with Twitch? It's the only way we can watch the show. We're gonna be watching House of Dragon, and on Thursday before the show, I'll be watching Bridgerton. So I'm gonna get started early since we have a show later. I'm gonna be watching all the last couple episodes of the 3rd season, so I'm gonna be watching that, and then we'll also be watching Hot D starting this Sunday or Monday. We haven't figured it out. You will wipe the videos off YouTube. Oh, the discussions will be on YouTube. Yeah, so usually the discussion we do after the show, I clip and post as the Vamp and Chill. That's what that is. That's just the last part of the show on Twitch. And then just like this one's on both, if it's just a conversation, it'll be on both. So yeah, you can catch
Have you thought about, like to Vodka's point, have you thought about after the watch along adding YouTube back in and doing the post breakdown discussion? Like
I did, but lives don't get pushed as much as like uploaded videos.
Okay.
So I find that when I like edit a video and upload it, it does better than if it's a live. So I just upload it, and then sometimes I add little clips from the show, like those big moments in the show that we had reactions to. I like to put those in, so I can't do that if it's just a live. So I'll upload them on Sundays or Mondays. So just be on the lookout for those. But I'm glad you found the channel. Let's see. Anything else?
My last question would be, now because this whole show, what I love about this show is that they take human dynamics and just exacerbate them to like to the umpteenth degree. To the types of people that we inhabit the internet space with, like how could you project that out if they became vampires? So like, I have an issue with, I'll say we're in a relationship space and then race and stuff like that. So let's take somebody like the red pill dude.
Okay.
Like, what does he become once he becomes a vampire? Like, I mean, we see like insecure Armand and
Claudia just eating women, just like raising them up with their vampire powers and like, I finally got some kind of power in this world instead of being a fucking loser. So I'm gonna actually use my power to murder people and probably be violent and lash out all the stuff I couldn't do. I was a little bitch. What else? Next. I mean, look, that's their arc in real life. As soon as they get anything, I can imagine it would be any different if they were vampires.
Yeah, God, it just wasn't as sexy as an interview with a vampire. It was just immediately dark. It was just immediately dark. It was just like
interview with an incel.
Interview with an incel. Oh my God,
the most dangerous man on the planet, an perpetual, immortal incel. Because I mean, you probably ain't gonna get no game if you're a vampire. So they'll just murder people.
What would Joe Biden turn?
Now you know what Joe Biden gonna turn. Don't play with me.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Current Joe Biden, who don't even know where he is. Who don't even know what day it is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's such a vegetable now that I just can't even imagine the vampire. He just be sleeping. Like
I said, asleep. Rest.
I'm sorry, rest. That's such a dismissive. Just rest.
I love it.
You don't need to know all of that.
I love it.
It's almost like he's hypnotizing them when he says that. I wonder if he like already has hypnotized them.
I'm thinking
to say it's like the teacup thing,
I'm thinking, okay. What kind of vampire would you be?
Toxic. I'd definitely be a villain.
Okay.
But you thought I was gonna say something else?
No. I mean, obviously, it's obvious. Obviously, you're a villain. But how would you live your immortal life? I mean, it's obvious.
Don't say it's so hype.
Yeah, obviously.
I'll be good. Like I'll leave I would leave people alone. Like, I'm not gonna be like Claudia, just murdering people, keeping their titty meat.
Okay.
Because that's weird. Like, I'm not gonna keep their titty meat. But like, if you leave me alone, you're more than likely would be good. I'm gonna be like, would I be like Lestat? Eventually. I think I started off real chill, but after so much time and so much money that I amassed, because I'm going to amass money. Okay. So I'm just around. I would be like Lestat. I'm just gonna go around, party, live different lives, different countries, become different people, give me a new boo. You know, I'm more than likely to do the Lestat.
Okay. You become a socialite. You be
Yeah.
No world domination. No.
I have no interest in I'm like Lestat in that way. Like even in real life, I loathe sometimes the aspect of motherhood that makes me an automatic leader.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't want to lead people. Why are you asking me things? Like I'm supposed to decide this for you. I loathe it. So I couldn't see myself doing that. You know?
I can see that.
What about you?
Will you feed on humans? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely eating humans. Hold on, I'm eating all y'all. If I got to eat and you're around, you're getting ate. But I more than likely would feed you good food first, so you take.
So you're going to be an ethically sourced feeder. Like you're going to feed on. You're going to.
I mean,
farm raised.
I'm just going to be like Lestat. I'm not going to be messy when I kill you. It's going to be. I'm going to enjoy it. So I feel like when you kill animals, like I eat meat. I don't have an issue with it. I just feel like you should respect that this thing is being killed for you to eat. So don't be messy. Like don't. Like Louise,
like ripping throats out. You're just gonna
give them some good food, give them some good wine, and then kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, very Lestat coded.
I like that. That. I don't know. I have a terrible feeling that the reason I dislike Lou the most is because I would probably be like Lou. Like that's why I think it's that version that you hate the most, the thing that you see that you detest in yourself. I think I would be Lou. I think I would be a whiny vampire. Like I think I would. I think I would. I have a feeling. It's just a feeling.
We've had a lot of conversations because you'd be like paralyzed. Like I loathe being this monster.
Yes, I don't want to harm people.
And
I've got this code of ethics.
I like that real because she me. So Prince Northstar said they would eat deer and shit. Have fun with that. Yeah. I support that. I'm not about to do it, but I support it.
Yeah, I don't think they have to die, YDW. But
what do humans have to die?
Yeah, I don't. I think Bri would just want them dead. Like I think Bri would just want them dead because she could.
I mean, if somebody was a freak and was into that sort of thing, and I thought they were attractive, I let them be my little, pet for a little, amuse bouche, Yeah. But for a full meal, I'm more than likely gonna have to murder somebody. Yeah, I'd be totally cool with being a vampire. I don't think I would struggle with that at all.
And see, I would think I'm supposed to do something with the power. I'm supposed to save humanity in some kind of way. I'm supposed to, right some wrong. I would feel too compelled to try to do something positive with it. I think I would be conflicted and end up being like Luke. I'd be whiny and
damn, that's tough.
Paralyzed. Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, I don't think you can be a vampire and be any kind of healthy archetype.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like be well adjusted. It's too much time.
I think the only thing I could lean to is like being an assassin. Like I think I wanted to use that power at night. I'd be a night stalker. Yeah, I'd be an assassin. Like high targets, like high tier targets.
I mean, but that's what Armand does though. But Armand says he only attacks the worst people, and then the people that he does kill, I think he gives them. He's like, okay, if you make it, you'll live. If you live, I'll pay you.
I ain't doing that. I'm just disappearing somebody. Yeah, no games.
I thought it was cute. It's like a guy who's
cute for him.
Pull out.
He came with them shades. He came back with them shades on.
The way I cackle with Armand walked in with them fucking ridiculous ass shades on.
Like, what did I miss? What did I miss?
That's like really awkward. Have you ever had that moment in real? Have you ever had that moment in real life? Like walking into a room where people were talking about you?
Yes, unfortunately.
That is an awkward moment.
Yeah.
The stare off at the end of the episode. I'm so ready for it, but I'm gonna have to do this more though because I want to give y'all space to like talk about the show.
That's what Vodka was asking about. Vodka and somebody else said it too. Somebody like the talks, like instead of just like the reaction, just have a few of these, like sprinkle them in. It ain't gotta be all the time,
because that's how we did last time. I think we waited to the end of the season because we did talk about we're gonna do it end of the season, let people come up and join in, or just like y'all can come. So we already decided we would do that. But I do know, like with the reaction, you want to keep it, keep it cute so it's not too many voices. But if people like this, we'll see how it responds. Make sure you like the live, make sure you like the video, comment after. If I see that it's getting good engagement, I will make sure I do more of these. So that people can see that if that's something y'all want. Because somebody on Twitter said Armand look like Real Housewives of Dubai. But that is uncomfortable. So yeah. Anything else? I've kind of gone through all the points I wanted to. So I have as much time as you need, but if there's anything else, we're in the chat. Cool. Anything y'all want us to talk to address? Rashaun's usually not my co-host. So this is an opportunity to hear a different perspective. Like I said, we usually talk about a lot of psychology, philosophical things, isms, and really high level intelligent conversations. So I knew this would be a good conversation to see what archetypes you see in this show.
Yeah, I can't wait. No, I really enjoy this show. I'm glad. I don't even know if you put me onto it or how it happened.
It was me. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Because I can't stand no ungrateful ass bitch. Lou.
I'm not gonna be Lou. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Why can't vampires be serial killers? What do you think?
They kind of are. Like, I mean, if they're killing a lot of people, like, but I guess the intention. I guess like features like speaking to the intention. Like, cause they're killing.
Don't bite me.
Yeah, they're killing to feed a lot of times. So it's not like they're killing for the thrill of killing. All of them aren't doing that. So I can see.
But but at this point, like Louise, because you got to think from the human perspective, it would be a serial killer though, because you got Louise getting these young gay men in the 70s, inviting them home from bars, and then they just disappeared. So in
128 of them.
Yeah, in the human experience of him, he's a serial killer because we don't know he's a vampire. We just know 128 men from the San Francisco area keep disappearing that are gay. Yeah, that's all we know.
Sunlight can kill them. They haven't introduced stakes I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Not stakes, just sunlight for the most part.
Then,
and what was the poison? What did they give Lestat, y'all?
I can't remember. Laudanum, something like that.
Yeah, something.
But I think that zombie one in Germany, didn't they stake it? But I don't think it died immediately. How did they kill it? I can't remember how they killed the zombie in Germany.
I don't remember. Y'all remember what did they give Lestat to kill him? What was the poison? And then how did they kill the zombie one?
Laudanum and arsenic.
Okay.
But in Germany, that one guy in the forest. How did they kill him? I thought they spiked him. I remember Claudia jumping on his back and getting thrown off. I remember Louis getting engaged.
I was about to say, I don't know if it was just they haven't really said anything about like steak, silver, garlic, the typical stuff. They haven't really
as a joke, pulled his eyes out. Oh, they did blind him.
She did pull the eyes out.
I do remember that. Ooh,
and sunlight, I think as they get older, the sunlight also doesn't like hurt them as much.
but Lestat strolling in with the cross though.
That was my favorite.
When he strolling in with the big cross, the crucifix with Jesus on it, like over his shoulder, man, that was dope.
I like when he like came at the one guy was like and the guy was like,
that was crazy.
All he needed to do in that scene to make it better was the power of Christ compelled.
Oh my God, that was he's full of jokes. He's full of jokes. I
love
Lestat over the top. Yeah, I love it.
Like Twan always say, he's a stunt queen. We love a stunt queen. So I just noticed this walk-in is about to be epic. Like when Lestat, because even if Lestat has been watching them all this time, Lestat's gonna pick a moment to walk in.
Yeah. It's gonna be dramatic.
It's gonna be dramatic. I'm not sure. How do you envision the Lestat entrance going?
I don't know. Honestly, because there's nothing he does is understated. So it's he's not subtle at all. He loves attention. So it's so. I'm curious to see, because so far into the season, I almost don't want to see Lestat emerge as a character, because I'm going to want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I miss Lestat from season 1. I miss the dream stat was okay, but it wasn't the same thing. But I really don't want them to all of a sudden introduce real Lestat back and then like the season's over. Like
I think that's what's gonna happen though. And I think the next story that we'll get is more of his side. But what I anticipate for the rest of the seasons, we get the holes of Paris filled in. Yeah. Maybe we get a little bit of what life was maybe like leading up to San Francisco for Louis, or maybe I could see the tragedy going down. I don't know if they're going to drag that out 2 more episodes. I feel like we're reaching a fever pitch here where we know the moment's been coming. If they put another episode before whatever happens to Claudia,
then it's pretty much solidified.
Yeah, because I think I could see this episode not being whatever happens to her, but the drama of Claudia and the coven coming to a head. Maybe Lestat shows up. I could see that being 2 more episodes even. Yeah. And then the last episode maybe being, kind of a little bit of the fallout of it and then leading us into whatever happens after that. So that's kind of what I would think. Thank you. You've been watching us since season 1. Now everyone thinks Louis is sad boy, but back in season 1, you had his number. We pulled Louis card so quick, and that's why y'all not coming for Pookie Bear Armand. So once again,
I don't know. I'm gonna give him grace. I'm gonna give him grace.
Armand deserves grace, just like Lestat deserves grace. That's all I'm saying.
The trial, everything that happens between now and the trial and the outcome, that's going to determine how I feel about Armand. Yeah. Because that's pretty much his starting point, and to me, to the real relationship with Lou. Because out of who somebody is in your relationship when they go through tragedy with you.
Yeah. So I do want to know. Hopefully, we get some information about what Armand's bigger picture thing is, because it's kind of been alluded to that he has this outside influence. He has this belief about some God. I would like to know, what is his motive for a lot of things. I hope we do get that at least, and then I think I'll be able to make a better assessment of Armand fully once I know that. So the show is called Interview. Are they only doing the first book? No. AMC in general is covering the Immortals universe, like Anne Rice's books. So they have the Mayfair Witches. We call them the Mid Witches. The Mayfair Witches. Now Tyler Mosca is about to have a show they just announced. And they have Interview with the Vampire, and they're gonna do the books through. So I mean, so far we're still in the first book. I heard. I mean, that's what they said in the comments. I haven't read it, but I hear but they have pulled some elements from future
other
books
spots.
Already. Yeah. So Armand would act like he couldn't stop it. They finna be traumatic, so we finna be crying on stream. I won't wear eyeliner. I'll get some tissue. I don't know what to tell y'all.
And see, the pace has been so quick. That's what I'm worried about. Because for me, it should be at least 2 episodes for the trial and everything leading into it, the build up, and then the fallout. Story. And then all the fallout should be 2 episodes, but the pace that they're going through stuff, I'm I don't know.
I think they're gonna maybe even cut between, because so in the trailer we saw Lestat walking above the stage, that shadow of him walking above the stage. We saw him come in, we see him sitting looking very pissed off at Armand. I think it's one of my frames in here. So I feel like there's gonna be a confrontation maybe before the Claudia thing. I didn't bank on Lestat being there for Claudia's demise, but I'm starting to think he maybe. So we haven't seen this yet. This Lestat on the left, which is the suit he had on when he walked down the aisle on the trailer. So we haven't seen this yet. So, I'm excited. I'm ready to cry.
Let's go. I'm ready for it. Man, it's been a good season. Yeah. I'm watching it again too.
Man, they don't get no Emmys. Yeah, we're not doing. Yeah, I know. We my audience has been really great. Shout out to y'all for not spoiling things. They dropped information we asked for, but not too much. So yeah, the ages are weird in the books. It's different races, different backgrounds, which to me makes it a whole different story.
Oh, not rooting for Armand. No.
What? Of course, Futurist. Thank you. I got a toxic friend in the chat now. Futurist, I hope you can join us on Twitch, because they're gonna be coming for Pookie Bear, Pookie Bear number 2, and I'm gonna need backup in the chat. Okay, because I had to shut them down last week, and they was trying to jump me. So I'm gonna need some backup. So I hope you can catch us on Twitch.
And we know, baby Lou, we all know it's the writing's on the wall. There is
Claudia is fixing to be dead.
She's gone.
She is.
It just ain't happened yet.
Yeah, Claudia's.
I just don't know how they're gonna do it. Oh, that's what I'm worried. What I'm worried about is the spectacle. I think we know why, because they broke the rules, but it's like.
But I still some part of me still don't feel like it's that cut and dry.
Santiago just found that he just was digging and snooping and found her diary.
Somehow I feel like that's a misdirect. Something in my soul feels like it's not gonna be that. Like I feel like it's gonna be leading to that, and then I feel like there's gonna be like Louis tries to like intercede or something, and then like Louis does it. Like I feel like they want me to believe the coven's gonna kill her, but I just don't feel like if somebody's preparing you for something.
It's gonna be. It's too obvious. It's too on the nose. Yeah,
especially when they did it like 2 episodes ago, when they were like, and we're like, oh my God, she's gonna die, and then nothing happened. I'm like, okay, so they want us to think we know exactly what's gonna happen to her, and that's gonna make it even worse when it's something that we're not expecting. Which would be Louis.
Would be a good switch up.
I mean, I don't want to blame him. I don't necessarily want to blame him. But I do feel like, even though Louis is dramatic, I don't feel like this episode kind of made me think that it might be something like that, only because when Louis remembered about Claudia, he didn't immediately go after Armand, which I feel like Louis being Louis, even Pimp Louis still inside of him. I feel like if Armand really did something to her,
he would have lashed out at Armand.
He would have lashed out at Armand. But the fact that he tried to off himself made me feel like he did something to her.
Yeah,
that's kind of what changed my thought about maybe it's not going to be what we thought.
That makes sense. That actually makes sense, and that could be a departure from the book to throw people off, because they have made some interesting departures. So I like that. That would be a good curveball.
Or at least he was involved enough where he could find a way to blame himself, because that's in his nature.
Yep.
There has to be some way that he can find to blame himself directly, not even just like, oh, I let her join the coven. I don't think that'll be enough. I think it had to be something where he feels like he literally did it in some way. Yeah, but if he has something to do with it, you know how like kids do stuff where like, oh, I dropped this and then it caused that, and so I did it. It would have to be that. Like even if he don't do it directly, he had to be close enough to what it was to blame himself.
Man.
I'm just
you're right. That's true. Yeah, because he that victim stance is strong in him. He's gonna find a way to blame himself one way or the other.
Yeah,
I should have never had her in Paris, or no matter what.
He gonna find a way. But going into, I don't know. I hate Louis, but Jacob Anderson is so good that when he has those emotional moments, I really do be feeling bad for him. Like when we watched that scene where he went in the sun, I felt it was really. He did such a good job showing Louis' pain that I really felt.
They have all, like, I don't know. I consume like a lot of TV and movies. I don't know, like top to bottom, another show I've seen where the acting performances were this, like not just believable, but like also dramatic, and believable. Not like they got the subtle nuances, but they also have dramatic flair. But all of it's believable. Like in character, like it's crazy, and it's so immersive. It's so immersive. Yeah, I love it.
They're doing so good. That's why I was like, for this to not be a like huge network, I was telling my husband, it's like sometimes you either get like really good budget, really good script, maybe not great actors, or really great actors, not good budget, great. You usually don't get all three on a not HBO or Cinemax show. So to get like good sets, amazing script, and amazing actors on a like not major, that is a gem. So I'm very, very happy, and they better renew it, and they need to go ahead and announce it ASAP instead of this other show we can ask for, which that's cool. But after Mayfair, I'm not getting hyped for another show until I see that it's worth it. What network is it? AMC Plus. And if you don't want to pay for AMC Plus, you can sub to my Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon Prime to Twitch. Go ahead and use that to subscribe to my channel for free. And you can go back and look at my watch alongs, even though we do make commentary. But I think we do a good job of the captions are on. And we don't talk over like super important parts. We kind of talk about it.
Y'all don't have like long pauses. Y'all be kind of quick through it. Y'all don't be like pausing for 10 minutes and
and then talking about stuff. So I think we do a good job of trying to not interrupt the viewing experience. Because somebody was like, y'all didn't really talk that much. But I was like, look, people on here because they're not playing it in their country. Like some people, they can't watch it in their country. You know, I want to make sure y'all, I'm not ruining the show and helping you follow a thought, because sometimes somebody pause, you'll forget it. So yeah, watching it with us made it interesting. So yeah, that's good. Amazing. You don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I was about to say Greg lying. I forgot. Yeah. Greg be on the other chat. I'm like, Greg, I know you fucking lying. Okay. Well, yeah, just
but if you have cable TV, I don't know if you have cable TV, but if you do, it does come on AMC, but it comes like, I don't know how many days later, but it does come out eventually.
Can't you get AMC Plus on YouTube?
On YouTube, probably. I don't know.
I feel like it's part of YouTube Premium and stuff. There's just a lot of ways. Roku TV, if you got Roku, I think it's on there too. So yeah, check it out. But thanks for having this conversation with me.
Heck yeah, I love this show, and I love to talk about this show.
We be talking about the show all the time now. They would love it. Yeah, so that brings me to what I was about to say before we close out. I'm just going to say it one more time. On Thursday, maybe around 5 or 6 p.m., hopefully, we're going to do a show. I'm going to have Rshaun back with me and Yella, who is another one of my streaming friends. And they're straight men. And I want to have the conversation with them about their experience viewing the show as straight men. Like, what was it like watching them men make out and be floating in the air? I just want to know. He's like, yeah. So we're gonna.
It was a bit much at first, you know. First time it hit you, like, that's interesting. Okay, that's a choice.
I think the title of the live will be "Straight Men React to Watching Floaty Cakes Watching Interview with the Vampire." So if I can, I know quite a lot of straight men. I don't know a lot of straight men that watch the show. If I can get a few more on the dark side, or I'll ask some guys I know in real life if they can join, and you know, we'll see what they think about it. I know my husband's watched a few episodes with me. He works a lot, but he was on vacation one time. I seen him looking. He was into it. So
it's a good show. It's a good show. I don't care what anybody say. I know a lot of people probably would be put off just by the very idea of homosexuality puts off a lot of people, and I don't know what, because it's such a character-driven show. For whatever reason, for me, like gender and race and all that stuff is like a subplot. The people, like the characters, they're so human that I'm like, I could see past all that. So I loved it. it.
So I'm gonna, you know, I'll put together something, or people who just maybe couldn't watch the show and try it. I'd be interested to know what put them off to it as well. So be on the lookout for it. Hopefully that stream will do numbers. I'm gonna title it "Straight Guys React to Interview the Vampire." Maybe people will see what they think. So, you know, we're gonna try to do the work of pushing this show to get more people to watch it, because if they could watch Game of Thrones, they can watch this show. Okay, if you watch Game of Thrones, I don't want to hear nothing about nothing that's going on in the show. Okay,
it's a good show.
With that being said, I will see y'all on Thursday if you want to catch that stream.
Girls and Purrs.
Yes, and then I will see you on Sunday with Twan as usual at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the watch along episode 6. I will see y'all on Twitch maybe early on if you watch Bridgerton. The part 2 of season 3 is going to be out, so I will be watching it on Thursday morning, like early in the day. I'll be watching all the episodes straight through because I'm about to see that man ruin that girl. And it's gonna be great. Classic grade A smut. I love it.
I haven't watched this season.
Colin Dirty Finger Bridgerton. We're gonna be watching that. So if y'all like that show, you can join it with it. Definitely enjoy this. Thank you. I'm glad you found the stream. And they said nice to meet you, Rshaun.
Yeah, and we should be back probably on both. Since it's a conversation, we'll be on probably Twitch and YouTube, Miss. And thanks. Nice to meet you too, Miss Rix.
Yeah. He said, I don't remember the Game of Thrones being gay. Okay. All right. Well, bye, y'all. I'll catch y'all later.
Baby Lou.